Hello and welcome. Today's video is a topic I have touched on before. Today I'm going to be talking about Chris Hansen. Kind of what myself and others thought when he first came to the platform, why that's changed, and kind of what he's been up to lately. And at that part I might get a little angry because he's become kind of the worst. But let's dive on in. Chris first came to YouTube. He kind of started with some To Catch a Predator style stuff, but then there were some issues with some copyright striking going on that was pretty shady. But all that and a lot of the stuff with Vincent Nicotra, which we will be talking about a little bit in this video, honestly that's all enough for its own video, which might happen. I haven't quite decided yet. This video is more just about his Onision investigation. Chris first started investigating Onision. A lot of people were hopeful, including myself, that maybe, he could help get something done. He talked to victims and ex-girlfriends and stuff like that of Onision, like Shiloh and Billy, and the more recent Sarah. There are others, but all this goes back like 10 years, so I'm not going to go into that right now. But he also talked to YouTubers like Repsion, Blair White, Stevie Wolf, and funny enough, Jimmy Snow, or Mr. Atheist, which was funny to me when it happened because I had just started watching Mr. Atheist. But most of the info that he got about Onision was from people that had been following and responding to and trying to shed light on the things that Onision did and tried to be a counter. But with all this attention, Chris was making waves, and Onision lost his Patreon. And he seemed to be getting worried. But that's when things started to go wrong. Early on in the investigation, Chris was working with Vincent Nicotra. You can see him in early live streams, just kind of sitting there. He was false copywriting videos, like to the point where channels were getting taken down. Some of them were critical of him or Chris, or there's a lot there. It's like I said, Vince and that situation might get its own video. I know I'm really, really late on that, and there's over a year later, but better late than never, I guess. But Vincent ended up getting a laptop from Sarah, and it had evidence of inappropriate behavior towards her from Kai, Onision's husband, towards her while she was underage. So what did Vincent do? Did he A, send it straight to the authorities to be investigated? Did he B, sit on the laptop for months? Or C, sit on the laptop for months and admit to wanting to copy the hard drive? If you guess C, you're absolutely fucking correct. This absolute moron decided to ruin the only decent evidence that has ever come out against Onision for anything. And it's gone. It is not... You can't use it. At all. And everyone warned Chris about him. And he didn't listen. And that's just the beginning of him just not listening to the community trying to help him. Onision knows how to walk on the edge of the law without crossing it. That's why nothing has ever come out of anything that people call him out for. It might be sketchy, and creepy and weird, but a lot of the time it is just barely on that legal line, which is ridiculous. So as soon as there was something, Chris and Vincent ruined it. Chris isn't working with Vincent anymore, but Vincent did spend a few months after being let go, trying anything and everything to discredit Chris. And at first people were, tried to defend him. They just said that, oh, Vincent's just bitter and angry. Which, I mean, yeah, big time. I mean, he was just a big angry baby. But that doesn't change the fact that Chris let Vincent get away with that for a long time. And with all of this, people started to lose faith in Chris. But I think the moment that turned the community against him was his interview with Jeffree Star on the Dobby Vanity investigation, which I have already covered, so I'll link it down below. But to sum it up, Chris pretty much just let Jeffree spew his bullshit unhindered, and then tried to vilify the commentary and drama communities. And that's just something that he's continued to do to this day. More recently, he has signed a deal to do a documentary on Onision on Discovery Plus, a streaming site that has a smaller reach than YouTube and a paywall. Oh, isn't that nice? It has recently come out, and a lot of creators have been talking about it, and I unfortunately have to go off of what they say, because in Canada, I can't get Discovery Plus, so I can't watch this. Wow. It's almost like YouTube was a more effective way to get this information out. Hold up. But it was really this Twitter video right here that really kind of pushed me to make this video.
Just a day after episode 3 of Onision in Real Life rolled out on Discovery Plus, there is a sequel, Onision Unplugged. We have now confirmed that YouTube has demonetized the main YouTube channels of Gregory James Jackson, Onision. We've reached out to YouTube for comment. A spokesperson has not gotten back to me, but in the documentary, if you've seen it, there is graphic evidence of not only Onision's abuse and predatory behavior targeting young women, but the exploitation and violation of YouTube standards over and over and over again. It's about time. There is so much more to come in this story, both editorially and in the investigation being conducted now by law enforcement, being more focused than ever. It should also serve as a warning to those who exploit YouTube, who use targeted harassment and misinformation campaigns, because the spotlight is now on you. Much more to come very soon. Have a good night. I'll be watching.
This video pisses me off for a couple reasons, and honestly, not all of them are just Chris. First off, he is so fucking smug. Like, he did it all by himself. Well, guess what, Chris? You didn't. You got most of your information from the creators that you are now trying to damage. You wouldn't have gotten anywhere without this community, without the YouTube community, like the commentary and drama communities. You wouldn't have gotten anywhere. None of this would have gotten any traction. And you wouldn't have been able to do it without talking to the victims either. And guess what? A lot of them didn't want their stories told in the Onision documentary. And from what I've heard, they were. The next thing that really pisses me off is the fact that he acts like T channels and commentary drama channels are exactly the same. They're all basically just the tabloid of YouTube, which there is some overlap between drama and T, and there is overlap there, so it can get confusing, but it's pretty obvious to tell which ones actually care and which ones just want to get stories out. And honestly, it's kind of a slap to the face to people like Repsion, who have been documenting Onision's bullshit for a long time, taking all of it, taking all of this information, putting it behind a paywall that isn't even on a site that's worldwide, then tries to target the community that gave him this information. That is just so infuriating to me. The last thing that honestly almost makes me more angry than anything else is the fact that I know that this documentary is the reason that Onision's channels got demonetized. You honestly can't really deny that. But YouTube really pisses me off, because that just means that they don't listen to the people that are actually on their platform talking about this shit until it's a bigger streaming site, which is ridiculous. There's no way Discovery Plus has more people watching it than YouTube. Like, just because it's a professionally done, fuck you. Like, grow some balls, YouTube. Like, that's just, that might be another rant for another day. But I think that's enough for today. There's a lot more on all of this, and this was a little bit more of me just ranting than anything. But, I mean, he's also been working with a horrible doxer, so, you know, that's a thing. And overall, I just think Chris has failed the communities that helped him get where he is, and now wants to destroy it before they can expose his scummy bullshit. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I have a couple other things that I've been working on, but this, when I saw that Twitter video, all of this has just really been bugging me, so I put all the rest on hold for a week and did this up. So hopefully I'll have 2 videos out next month, maybe. But if you liked the video, drop it a like, just like if you didn't. Subscribe if you want more, and I will see you next time.